Hi everybody, welcome to this new episode for the GenAI Nerd Coding Bootcamp. And today I will show you step by step the software that we need to start coding. And so what I will explain is first of all how we can download and install Python, which will be the programming language that we will use. Then I will explain how you can install Visual Studio Code, which will be the environment in which we will code. Subsequently, I will show you how you can add extensions to Visual Studio Code so that you can actually use Python in Visual Studio Code. And finally, I need to explain you how you can enable the GitHub Copilot agent in Visual Studio Code. And when we have taken these 4 steps, you will be actually ready to start writing your first line of code. So let's get started. Yes, so the first thing we need to go is to go to the website of visualstudio.com. This is actually part of Microsoft. And here we can download this particular software. And here you can see all the options that we have. I have Windows, so I need to click here now on this. And then, as always, you can now, it will download the executable file, and then you simply have to execute that on your computer. And in that way, you will have taken the first step and you will have installed Visual Studio Code. Then the next step is that we need to go to python.org to download a Python version. And so here is python.org, and now we can click here on downloads. And again, you have to choose here your operating system. So I have Windows. So then I click here on my Windows, and now actually I will get all kinds of releases. Yeah? So actually the newest stable release at this moment is the 3.14.2. So that's the one I will install now. You can use this Python installer manager. Now I don't find that convenient, so I actually prefer to just use the installer for this particular version. So then again, you can see here, I can now install it for Windows or for other packages. So again, I will now use the Windows installer. So I will click here, and then again, I get an executable file. Yes, and if you then open the exe file, you get into this screen. And so now I would definitely highlight here add python.exe to path, because that will be relevant in later videos that will make it easy to run Python files. So enable definitely this, and then you can just click here on install now, and then it will start installing this particular software on your computer also. And that makes us ready to move to step 3. Yes, and so then if you open Visual Studio Code on your computer, you should see something like this. And now actually the first thing we need to do is to add some extensions. And extensions you can find here on the left-hand side. So I can click here, and here we can now start downloading some extensions. And the first thing we need is the Python extension. So if I search now on Python, we will see here different kind of options, and this is then I think the right one. Yeah, so for me it's already installed, but so if you're here for the first time, you will have to click here on install, and then the Python extension will be installed in Microsoft Visual Code, and then it will allow you to start kind of communicating with Python in this particular environment. So the second extension we need is Jupyter Notebook. So let me show you what that means. So we need to go here to Jupyter, yes. So I can click on this. Again, in my case, it's already installed, but now if you want to install this, you just simply have to click here on install, because this will be something that makes it a bit easier to code. So this is always a second extension that I recommend, and I will later show you why that's relevant. So these are the 2 extensions you need to enable so that we can easily start coding in Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So now we can go to the final step, step 4, and now we need to go to GitHub to make sure that we can use the GitHub Copilot agent. Yes, so here I'm at github.com, and so this is the website where you can sign in. So here, for instance, you can do sign in for GitHub, and then you have to create your typical login credentials. And what will be important is that you also kind of sign up for the GitHub Copilot. And you can always have a kind of free account initially, and then later on you will need to start paying a subscription. That's typically like, if I remember well, $10 per month. Now, why do I say if I remember well? Because actually as a student, or if you're faculty at a university or a school, you can apply for the educational license. And let me briefly show you what that means. Yeah, so when you're logged in into GitHub, so now I'm in my GitHub account, you can see here that here it mentions that you can join GitHub Education. So if you click on that here, yeah, so now I'm here at this place where I already have applied for this GitHub Education. And when you have the GitHub Education, you actually have free access to the Copilot agent. So then you don't have to do this monthly subscription, then you actually get it for free, which is actually very valuable. Yes, and so in order to use this GitHub Copilot, we now have to again go to our extensions here. And now I look for Copilot, and here is this GitHub Copilot. And again, in my case, it's already installed, but then you have to install it. And in that way, you will be able to use it. And it actually will then see normally here this particular sign, and that indicates that the GitHub Copilot agent is enabled. Okay, so now we have installed a lot of stuff, and now we are actually ready to write our first line of code. Yes, so let me show you now how you can start writing code. So I click here on Explorer, and now we can open a folder on our computer. Yes, so I have here a folder GenAI Nerd Coding Bootcamp code. So that's the folder I will use. So I will now just click on this folder and enable it. Now it will ask me if I trust the authors and files of this folder. So this is a kind of security issue if you collaborate with others, but here, of course, it's on my own computer. So I, of course, fully trust the authors. And now you can see here that here I will see files that are in my folder, but at the moment the folder is empty. Yes, and so now we can start creating a new file. And here you see different options. And we will now use Jupyter Notebook because I think that's the most convenient way to start coding. So I click here on Jupyter Notebook, and now I can enter my first line of code. So now I can, for instance, say print hello world. And in that way, I can now press enter here. And now it will ask me which Python environment do I want to use. So I can click here now. Now I have different Python environments. Now, if you would just have downloaded one, you will only have one. So I will now enable the most recent one. And now actually you will see it's connecting to the kernel. And now as output, I have received hello world. So in that way, you can now write your first line of code. Make sure that everything is downloaded. If something goes wrong, for instance, because you have a Mac computer and it's a bit different than what I show in the video, or things might also have changed, then the best way to help you is simply to go to ChatGPT and actually ask for support. And typically my experience is that ChatGPT is a very good support agent for all kinds of IT issues. So if you would have an issue with one of the things, just use ChatGPT as your little help. Okay, so this was kind of a video to get you started and make sure that you have the environment to start coding. And then in the next video, we will really start working with the coding in Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So thanks for your attention. Bye.